So what is non-duality? What is the direct path? Advaita. I like the term direct path because it's not so much about speaking about consciousness or spirituality. It's not so much about speaking about the truth, about whatever the ultimate source of the universe is. It's not really about any of that. If you notice, you are aware of your thoughts when they're there. You're aware of your body. You're aware of the world. Of external sense perceptions. But the question is, what is it that is aware? And the investigation into this brings you to finding your very consciousness, the thing that is aware. You can start by simply noticing you're aware of anything you'd like. I'm aware of the car that's parked in front of me. And then I step back one step and I say I'm aware of the perception, the visual perception that I see. You take another step back, I'm aware of visual perception. And as you step further and further back, you become increasingly aware of this other realm. The realm which is aware. And you start to have the experience or notice that the realm which is aware is the same place or perspective that you are looking from. You consciousness. People become interested in this for various reasons, but there's a general curiosity. Even if someone can't quite put their finger on it as to why they're curious, other than some type of itch inside or a desire to learn more, to learn deeply about the nature of reality. Some people have questions about who they are, what their true identity is, the nature of the self. And the only place we find these answers, if we can call them answers, is in experience. There's no other place we can find the answer to these questions. Or in other words, there's no other place we can go where we can really have these questions met with an answer or an experience or a resolution that is real. And we continually find, without fail, that the place we go to find these answers to find experiential answers, a resolution, is in awareness itself. When we embark on a search to find God, and if we're really honest and serious and forthright about really finding if what we mean by God is the source of all things, of the universe, of everything, the ground of being, we have to be clear about what we mean at each stage. If we say we want to find God, we need to have an idea of what we're talking about when we say that. If indeed this search for God is, and God is just the word for the search for the source of all things and the ground of being, if that's what we're searching for, and we know that, we have to keep coming back to that specificity of the search, the specificity of what we think we're looking for. If we are searching for God and we think we'll find a separate entity, but just a much bigger one, somewhere outside of us, good luck. You won't find that. No one has found that. If you're honest about the fact that what you're searching for when you say God is the ground of being, the source of all things, the ultimate reality of all reality, you have to investigate who you are, what you are. It's like a scientific investigation. We're uncovering every rock, we're looking behind every corner. We're shining light on every place where we could possibly search to eventually come to this ultimate answer, or this finding of what God is. Because if we're searching for God or the ultimate reality, and we think that that's something outside of us that we find, and that God is a separate entity of some sort, or that God is a person, what we are searching for and what we're continually reinforcing in that search is the sense of separation. Because when we're searching for a separate God or a separate ultimate source of all things, we might not realize it at first, but what we're really saying is that we're revealing by that search an underlying belief system that perhaps we haven't been able to see clearly even to ourselves. And that belief system is based upon the belief of some sort of separation, some sort of inherent separation in reality. So we search for that separate God because we fundamentally and usually unconsciously believe that we are separate. And because we believe that we are separate, our search is fashioned into that shape, where we believe that the ultimate source, or God, whatever we call it, must be out there, must be separate from me. And since I'm searching, I can use that as some sort of a proof. While I'm searching, I don't feel God, or I feel disconnected, so therefore there must be a real disconnection. And then we try to prove to ourselves by that thought, that belief, that this search is true the way it's being formed. But we need to find out, we need to investigate at the very least who we are, what we are. Because if I'm assuming that my fundamental reality, my identity, what I actually am, is a person and a body, and a mind, then those things will be all that I find. But if I investigate the true nature of my being, I will find something else. If we can find what we are, if we even start with that premise of that possibility, and we investigate it, if I ask myself, am I my body? Am I this body? I don't have to necessarily have to have a positive or negative answer for that. I don't know is enough. But experientially, I'm aware of a body. I'm aware of visual perception. I'm aware of a world. I'm aware of thoughts that come and go. Sense perceptions, I'm aware of bodily perceptions. But regardless of anything I'm aware of, I am aware. And if I do this investigation, I'll find that I begin to get a growing sense of the awareness which is aware of these things. I'm aware of bodily sensations and external sense perceptions, visual perception, thoughts, activity of the mind. I practice being aware of these things, noticing that I'm aware of these things, of these layers of reality. As I practice this, as I go step by step, being aware of this and that, I get this growing sense of the awareness itself. Oh, I'm aware. And this awareness is not necessarily found in the object I'm aware of. And perhaps this awareness is even not dependent on the object that I'm aware of. Perhaps even I'm not aware because I'm aware of something. Perception. Sensation, thoughts. There begins to be this different experience we have where we're not lost in the perceptions anymore. We begin to have this different experience where, okay, I'm aware of visual perceptions, I'm aware of thoughts, I'm aware of bodily sensations. And there's this sense of being aware, which is different than the things I'm aware of. It has a different quality. And at first, it might seem like a new experience. Right now, I'm aware of the sound of my voice. I'm aware of the feeling of the vibration of my vocal cords and of my sinuses, of the reverberating sound in the car that comes back through my auditory system. At the same time, I'm aware of the visual field. I'm aware of the sensations of temperature change in my body. I'm aware of the cool air coming from the air conditioning of my car. I'm aware of the light from the sun. I'm aware of the feeling of my body sitting on the seat. I'm aware that I'm having these thoughts come and I'm having these words come out of my body. And if I slow down enough as I'm doing this exercise, I'm starting to notice in the background the awareness that is aware of all of these things. And then it's this very awareness that I begin to be interested in. They start to turn towards the awareness itself. And I go, what is this? I can investigate the awareness itself. And with this investigation of the awareness itself, all I find is awareness. All I find is being aware. And I don't find a person there. I don't find a mind. It's not that I lose visual perception. It's not that I no longer ever have thoughts that come up. But when the awareness which is aware becomes, again, aware of itself, there's inherent bliss and peace. Uncaused happiness, where even if it's just seemingly for a moment, for a glimpse, we have the experience of happiness not coming from something anymore, not something that we have to reach out for or fight for, to try to take from someone or create. But instead, it's the very spring of happiness. We experience an inexhaustible fount of peace. Because before, we were worried about our self, the person that we usually identify with, the body, mind, Daniel, whatever your name is. And we go, oh no, will I be happy? Oh no, will I be safe? Oh no, will I get what I want? Will I get what I need? From the vantage point of consciousness itself, you simultaneously find, oh, this is what I am. And whatever that is, this is all I am. This is all I've ever been. And this is in a realm where there's no time. It's outside of space-time. And I'm completely safe. The place where I am, my being itself, is completely safe. There is total happiness, total peace. We find that this awareness is our being and is completely free. And it never goes away. We just forget for a moment. We get lost in the perceptions of awareness. And we overlook our own nature. We overlook where we're literally coming from. The peace that passes all understanding is at the very heart of your being. The total simplicity of what you are. Just awareness. Thank you.